I destroyed my marriage 3 weeks before it even started at my bachelor's party. My wedding day is March 10th. I'm getting married to the most amazing woman in the world and I've ruined it in one weekend. My bachelor party was this past weekend and me and my friends decided to go to Nashville for the weekend. We just partied, a lot of drinking and a lot of fun. When we got to the strip club, I was already blasted. I was going along with everything. Eventually, we went into the private room and the strippers started offering extra services. I was so drunk I made the dumbest decision I've ever made. She offered me a blowjob for $40 and I accepted. Then she offered me sex for another $100 and I accepted that too. I banged the stripper and didn't even have a moment of clarity until the next day when I realized when I had sobered up. I feel awful and disgusted in myself. The only thing saving me is that we all are in relationships and we all did things. So no one is going to snitch. I just wish so badly I could take this one mistake back. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Why even go to a strip club for bachelors lol? My buddy had his bachelors last Saturday and we rented a farmhouse, got pissed drunk and ate seafood and played CSGOLAN till 9 AM. That sounds fucking awesome. Those are the best kinds of bachelor parties. Dude, you can give your wife diseases, get yourself checked, and give her the chance to get out of this marriage before the 10th by telling her the truth, some of which can be life-changing, like making her infertile. STDs can also hurt the baby, not just a disease, but a disease which can cause cancer. There is no test for HPV in men, so he could have it and give it to her despite getting the all clear. Dude could give his wife cervical cancer because of this fuck up. Real stand-up guy. Better go to the clinic for some STD testing. If the stripper doles it out to you, she sells it out quite often. Yay op, wait before you start freaking out. It might be worse. Yay, his marriage will be temporary, but his herpes will be forever. For $100, Op should cross his fingers that's the only thing he's got. Like damn op, $100 isn't even gonna get you a sarcastic handy J in my town. Like damn op, $100 isn't even gonna get you a sarcastic handy J in my town. How much for an angry one? Yes. And don't sleep with your fiancé until you have your results. Have fun explaining why no sex on the wedding night. Syphilis has an incubation period of 3 weeks. Some STDs take 90 days to 6 months. Most notably, HIV can take up to 90 days depending on the type of test, with 18 being the low end of that range. Wanna bet whether Op took PEP afterwards? Op is a massive fucking asshole if he actually sleeps with his fiancée wife after this. Bold of you to say no one will snitch and then post this on Reddit. Also nice group of friends. All of them cheated on their spouses so no one will snitch. Winners. Yeah, I feel bad for his future wife. She's real lucky. Lucky if she doesn't get an STD. And post the date of the wedding as well as when the party was. Let's hope his wife has Reddit. It's fake. No way a blowjob is only 40 extra. If those are the going rates, Op 100 as STDs now. You'll suck your dick for $10. I got these cheeseburgers, man. Come on, man. You'll suck yo dick. They all did things. And they're all in relationships. Jesus Christ, I feel so sorry for these women that they somehow had the misfortune to end up with one of these assholes. I could not possibly imagine having a friendship group made up entirely of scumbags. Oh, I've seen it. Dated a narcissist once and him and all of his friends were like this. I remember I went to a party without him and he asked me to bring girls home for his engaged friends. I started preparing to leave him over the next couple weeks and have never looked back. There are too many shitty people out there. You are who you hang with. If their friends are cheaters, they probably are too. Get an STD test. Do not have sex with your fiancé until then. And tell her. These things have a way of coming out. You have a chance if you tell her. If someone else beats you, you're screwed. Hey, man, you're just a Kia Terrier paid money to fuck someone when you were literally about to marry someone. You could do it for free for the rest of your life. The alcohol made me do it is such horse shit. Dude has no accountability whatsoever. When it finally comes out, his greatest remorse will be getting caught. This is what we call in the biz red flag behavior. I call it little bitch boy behavior. Same thing though. Hello. Consequences of my own actions. What are you doing here? Come up in there and show you how stupid you are. Op done fucked up. You got 2 choices, dude. Come clean and deal with the fallout. Or take it to the grave knowing you did something pretty scummy. I thought this was gonna turn into come a pantsook on D's nuts. I'm sorry. Nah, Op already got his nuts sucked. The only thing saving me is that we are all in relationships. So no one is going to snitch. Disgusting. You'll do it again. The fact you think being drunk is an excuse means she can't ever trust you to control yourself when drunk. Tell her so she can stop herself from wasting her life with you. Right, and that sentence also implies that the others misbehaved as well. Sounds like Op needs a bachelor pad with his mates rather than being in a married home. They all need to man up. Damn bro. Maybe you don't really want to get married after all. Even when drunk, you know whether or not to have sex with a random person. If you want to live that life and party, then do it. Getting married and divorced is way more work than airing this out before the wedding. Chances are it is over, though. I don't think any sane woman would say that's okay, honey, you were drunk. This is a shitty situation you put yourself in. It's best to confront it and determine your future than get married and divorced in a year from now. You do realize she's going to find out eventually? This is likely going to get buried, and I have no idea if this is even a real post, but my advice to Op or anyone in this situation is 100 tell your partner as soon as possible. If you don't, the most likely outcome is that one of your buddies is going to crack and your wife is going to find out. Hopefully, this happens sooner rather than later. If it's later, she is going to find out that the man she thought she loved has spent years lying to her. She is going to lose all trust she has in you, and you will deserve it. If you have kids, they will almost certainly take her side. Marriage and relationships are about trust and honesty, and you will have built yours on a lie. And in the meantime, you are going to spend your life living in fear of the moment the cat gets out of the bag. You're obviously not a totally shit person if you feel guilty about it. Can you imagine spending the next 60 years of your life saying I love you to this woman and kissing her goodnight while in the pit of your stomach? You know you're lying to her. The worst decision I ever made was cheating on my husband, but the best decision I ever made was telling him the next day. You do not want to live your life knowing you betrayed the person closest to you. Agreed. If you want any chance of saving the relationship, coming clean now is much better than her finding out second-hand later. A lie like that compounds the longer it goes on, and like others have said, it will inevitably come out. If the friends are the sort that will get so drunk they slip up and cheat on their spouses, they're the sort that will get so drunk they slip up in some other way. I'm not convinced that anyone here cheated by accident, but the friends have shown they're disloyal, and thus a liability for the truth coming out. Why the fuck do people even go to strip clubs for bachelor parties? Even if it's with consent from their partner, I find it so weird. People always tell me it's to get it out of their system, but if you need to do that, then you shouldn't be getting fucking married. Also, you're a bitch, LMFA. Tell her you're a big boy who drank too much and fucked up. It wasn't even blackout drunk. You remember agreeing for these services. Therefore, she deserves to know. Do not sleep with her because you don't know if that stripper had anything. It's like drinking and driving. I didn't mean to, but sorry doesn't cut it when you've hurt someone else. ETA, I made it sound like. Since you remember, you should tell her. But even if you were blackout drunk and woke up next to her, she still deserves to know. If you love her as much as you claim to, then she deserves the respect of honesty. For one, you have too many witnesses who also fucked up and who also have spouses, who I'm sure talk to each other. Sooner or later, the thread is going to start unraveling until it eventually reaches to you, and everything you both have worked for up until that point is now a complete waste and another bad memory. Not only is it the right thing to do, for either side, if you love her, you tell her. Maybe she will forgive you, maybe not, but better to find out now. I don't understand the appeal with that. Why go to the strip club just before your wedding? It sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. I think you meant to say, why go to the strip club? The whole concept of baccalaureate parties is so fucking bizarre. If you feel the need to celebrate your last days of freedom, why the fuck are you getting married at all, nonetheless to someone that you need to escape from before marrying them? My best man said we have to do a bachelor party, and I said, okay, we are going to go to a baseball game and have dinner. And that's what we did, and then I went home to my now wife. You can have a bachelor party and not have it be about the end of your freedom. That's just what people do in the movies and what you hear about. You never hear about normal bachelor parties. When my friend was getting married, we threw him a bachelor party that was basically just celebrating that he was getting married. It doesn't have to be about infidelity. It's usually involving the wedding party too, some of whom might be great friends of yours but not know each other. It's fun to do something to all bond together. Yep, my bachelor party was just a bunch of dudes in a cabin drinking beers and throwing shit into a bonfire. It was a ton of fun and a great opportunity for my college friends to meet the friends I made after college. Nothing wrong with baccalaureate parties as long as they're relatively controlled. When my best friend had his bachelor party, we went to a chocolate museum and later on had a beer tasting at a brewery. One of the best parties we ever had. I think the idea of having a day where you get to celebrate a big life achievement with just your friends makes sense. Weddings themselves are so busy. Couples rarely get to actually spend time with friends between all of the other stuff that need to do. So I get the idea of having a fun day to celebrate. But the idea of your last day of freedom is indeed gross. I have trouble believing you weren't clear enough to cheating your wife a week before your wedding for 100. And he remembers the amount she charged but doesn't remember agreeing to sex. Please. When I've blacked out, I don't remember the amount of my bar tab. So, tell your partner before the wedding she deserves to know before deciding to get married. That choice should ultimately be given to her, and if she decides to get married still, there will be a lot of work to do, but at least she knows. Being drunk is not an excuse. Definitely get tested, because what would be worse is her finding out by you giving her an STD or something. Hopefully it all works out. Absolutely. She should get to choose if one, she wants to sleep with you and potentially expose herself to an STD after your infidelity, and two, if she wants to marry someone who cheated a week before the wedding. Not telling her as soon as possible takes both of things away from her. Don't make it worse. The silver lining to you is that at least no one will snitch. Your poor fiancé. She deserves so much better. And every single engaged dude that went to Nashville this past weekend is about to get interrogated. Thanks, Op. Every engaged dude with a date of March 10th. I think that narrows it down a bit, right? Silver lining is that all of you cheated. I hope you get tested for STDs, OP. Wow, you and your friends suck. I feel bad for your fiancé. I'm confident it will come out eventually. Someone's gonna snitch and the personal lives of that entire friend group will come crashing down. The only thing saving you is no one is going to snitch. And you still deserve this, bride. Bold of him to assume no one is going to snitch just because they're all in relationships. What if one of those relationships ends? What if one of them actually decides to have a shred of decency and tell their so what happened? She'll likely ask what Op and the other guys were doing and if they were also unfaithful. My BF finds baccalaureate parties tacky for this reason. No one is going to snitch just because they're all in relationships. Dude ain't got a single friend worth having. Of course he doesn't. Stop wasting her time further and tell her, because you're still being a shitty person. It wasn't just that you cheated. It's every day in between too where you're having her believe a lie that you were loyal to her. She will find out someday. Tell her now. She deserves the chance to call off the wedding, and if you want to redeem yourself at all, you'll give her that chance. I've been blackout drunk dozens of times and I've never once banged a stripper. Man up and so making excuses. Your partner should be the one deciding if she wants to be with you. With all of the information, you need to tell her the truth. It will eventually come out. Oh, and get yourself tested. Full sex for 100 is. Yeah, definitely get tested. It'll cause even more problems later if the bride finds out she's got an STD later on, not to mention Op's health in general. And finding out you've got an STD because your soon-to-be husband fucked a stripper before the wedding will end very terribly. Lol. My husband said if you were able to recall how much you spent, then you weren't too drunk to consider this a mistake. Fuck you. Hope she leaves you. Yeses. It wasn't a mistake. Dude knew what he was doing. You were so drunk, yet you remember it all and had no problem doing it. She deserves better. Hopefully you tell her. You actually think that she'll never find out? It will come to light eventually. You're an idiot and your friends are terrible friends, Grimmen. My bachelor party was amazing, and why I know, we didn't go to a strip club. We went to bars. I got drunk and was telling girls how beautiful my about-to-be wife is. My buddies rented a big van, put a keg in the back, and took me to Boston, all the while hinting we were hitting some strip clubs which I had no interest in. Instead, they took me to the Orpheum to see the Pogues. I was so relieved. Same here. Drunk words are sober thoughts. My dad always told me if you have to question being loyal, then it wasn't meant to be. My friends got an Airbnb, drinks and games all night. Best part was I realized how much I loved my wife and didn't even want to stay the night at the Airbnb. Next day, we all had a great time with everyone telling stories. No shame, but great stories. Edit, made correction to the saying. Drunk words are sober thoughts. Boy, what a time to read that. After my girlfriend just drunkly said she gets nothing out of our relationship on Valentine's Day. Guess I got some thinking to do. That's a really big thing to hear. And I'm sorry you guys are going through that. Contrary to everyone telling you to simply break up though, I think a statement like that really means that you both seriously need to have a conversation about what you both are wanting out of the relationship. Likely an issue that could be solved by just talking. The internet knows nothing about your relationship, including myself, so take everyone's advice with a grain of salt. Good luck. I think you mean drunk words are sober thoughts. He meant what he said. He's drunk. Hell, we did go to a strip club and I did get a private dance, and guess what? I spent the entire time talking about my wife with the stripper. She was super sweet too, and just sat with me and talked. If you can't control yourself at your bachelor party, it's going to happen eventually. You're going to be having a bit of a rough patch, and you're going to be out with the guys, lamenting the loss of passion. And the waitress will flirt with you, and you'll lose control and do it then. Consider this a flash of clarity now. Op, and tell your soon-to-be wife about it. She deserves to know what she's getting into. Edit, anyone who is complaining about how terrible I am. You're absolutely right. And that's the bloody point, you jerks. I'm barely a functionally moral human being. And even I knew that was not a good place to be or a good thing to do. See the point? I didn't go to the strip club, but I did get a lap dance from my wife's aunt in front of everyone. So there's that. Why did we normalize getting drunk and going to strip clubs shortly before getting married? It's like we're trying to create these situations. I feel so bad for your bride. You said it yourself that you think she's the most amazing girl. I don't think you deserve her. You don't seem like a person who should be getting married. That's the nicest way I can imagine responding to this post. Why can't you all just be normal and look at strippers and go home? LMAO, like why is that so hard? I hope you tell that lady so she can leave BCU and your friends are flammin' hot trash. The worst 140 you've ever spent. Yeah, honestly, why did all of them cheat? What's wrong with this group? And here I am just thinking that going to a strip club is fucking weird. It's like something out of Hollywood's 70s movies. I don't even know a single strip club in my country. I would have to Google it to find one. It's just such a not interesting activity at all. I can't imagine willing to go to one. You are the type of trash-ass dude that gives men a bad rep. I hope it was worth it. As a previous stripper who saw this stuff happen firsthand with many of the girls I worked with, this is exactly why I will never allow my so to go to a strip club without me. It's not that I don't trust him. I don't trust the friends. I saved two guys that this almost happened to. Both occasions, all night. They were both super respectful of the girls and kept turning down dances and offers by their friends to go up into a room. Both spoke about how much they loved their fiancé and couldn't wait to marry them. Fast forward a few horse bottler shots later and they both are completely sloshed. Friends gather all of us girls that had been hanging with them and take us up to a room. Both guys couldn't even walk straight at that point. Got into the rooms and immediately glued myself to the bachelor. Friends start offering up money to do extra stuff. Take the money and take the bachelors to another room where we could be alone. Put the money in bachelors' pockets and ordered them water and sat with them until they sobered up a bit. One of them passed out completely and woke up 30 minutes later. Told them what had happened and to follow my lead. When we went back into the room where his friends still were, played off like it went down. Not saying this to pat myself on the back or anything, but I saw guys were dog girls. Imagine having to tell your soon-to-be wife that you not only cheated, but that you also contracted a potentially serious 4 of a stip, potentially passed it on to her, or that you got a stripper pregnant. How do you feel about your partner? You need to tell her. The truth always comes to light. It may take days, months, years, even, but it will come out. If you're truly remorseful for your actions, you'll tell her. Homie, if nobody snitches, then there'd be a lot fewer convicts. Besides, if you actually give a damn about this person, you'll be real. There will be consequences. And if she gives you a shot afterward, it's going to be tough. Be honest in everything and overshare your plans with the boys. A great deal of the trust between people is given in faith, and that baseline faith has been destroyed whether or not she knows it, depending on if you tell her so. Building back to zero will take time. Staying quiet will save your bacon in the short term, but these skeletons never stay buried forever. Losing deposits will be nothing compared to divorce and alimony, and shit, if you have kids things will get nasty. Shame cows. Guilt confronts. Tell her or you will forever be ashamed. Show her your guilt, and you just might be forgiven. Wow, your soon-to-be ex-fiance dodged a bullet. Alcohol isn't an excuse for disrespecting your relationship. Sounds like it would have happened sooner or later anyway. She didn't dodge a bullet yet. If she doesn't find out until after the wedding, she won't have dodged it. You can be drunk and not cheat. You can have a bachelor party and not cheat. For my bachelor party, I did shrooms with some buddies of mine and we played some pool and had a long, fun, interesting evening. I've had so many opportunities to cheat. Many of them when I was blasted, and have never done it because that's not my character. Op is a piece of shit. If you build your house on lies, it will crumble. Don't take her choice in this away. Tell her, and give her the grace of deciding if you're the person she wants to marry after this. It's the least you can do after not giving her the grace of an infidelity-free relationship, and it will come out eventually. You cheated, just before your wedding, with a stripper for $100. You paid to cheat on your wife-to-be. The only thing saving me is that we all are in relationships and we all did things. So no one is going to snitch. I feel sorry for everyone's. So if this is how your group of friends functions, and you're absolutely stupid to trust that, you better tell her before someone else's guilt gets to them. Also get tested. You probably took an STI home to her. Your friends are pieces of shit for hiring strippers. Kinda my thoughts as well. Hate to judge, but you are the company you keep. Both my brother's bachelor's parties were golf dinner and of course drinks, but with party games and memories. If you're not ready to settle down, that's okay. Just gotta be real with yourself, and at least in my life that's been really hard, but once you get over that hump, life gets easier. If you really love your future wife, man up and tell her. He doesn't though. That much is clear. I agree. If you love or respect this woman at all, you will be truthful and tell her. Much better to hurt with the truth than comfort with a lie. She'll be hurt, but at least trust isn't completely shattered. Maybe you'll be lucky and she can work past this and forgive. Why the fuck do people even go to strip clubs for a bachelor party? My friend is getting married in May and we are doing an escape room and going to a really fancy restaurant. If you have an agreement with your spouse to be about being allowed to go to strip clubs, that's one thing, but to do what you did is disgusting. From a risk management perspective, it would be better go tell her before you are married. There is the chance that she never finds out. That would be ideal obviously, but a lot can change in 10 or 20 years. Those friends who would never snitch now might tell their wives or girlfriends later, or maybe just tell your wife directly if you piss them off. In that respect, having your life completely uprooted and then split in half by a nasty divorce would be a lot worse than just being honest and telling your fiancé even if she decides not to marry you. Old guy here, the odds are great that one of your friends is going to throw you under the bus in the future. And there are numerous scenarios that this could happen. Or what happens when one of the other wives finds out? This, plus, later on, if kids are involved, so much worse for everyone. So, what if the tables were turned? What if she got laid under the same scenario? How would you react if she and her friends kept that from you? You need to come clean and accept the consequence. The only thing saving me is that we all are in relationships and we all did things. So no one is going to snitch. This part alone tells me how much you genuinely have remorse. Lol. I feel incredibly sorry for all the women related to you guys. Hope they find better relationships than this depravity. Why are you going to the strip club when you're engaged? Your fiancé can't give you a lap dance? Because as much as they deny it, they do put a damn strip club over their relationship. His relationship was technically worth less than $140. For fuck's sake. If all it took to waver his loyalty was some alcohol and strippers, he was never loyal to begin with. Fuck this guy and fuck his friends. Cheap ass men. It is an absolutely awful tradition. If my husband had disrespected me by going to a strip club in the first place, the relationship would be over. This is why women have trust issues. Quit ruining it for the good dudes out there and tell your fiancé. She deserves better. And do better next time. Man, Jesus. Shit like this is why I never want a baccalaureate party. I don't need to gawk over anyone else right before getting married, and I don't want to. Much less open the opportunity for reprehensible shit like this. I can't believe how lightly cheating is taken. It's literally the worst pain I've ever felt in my life, and I have several chronic pain issues, and I swore I'd never inflict that pain on another human being. I couldn't and have never even wanted to. Fuck cheaters. It's unbelievably easy not to cheat. You have to put in effort to cheat and deceive your partner. Jesus. You plan to keep this secret. You're a slime ball and an asshole. Hope this gets back to all your partners. Tell your soon-to-be wife or ex-fiancé. Just tell her. I think she deserved to know a priori who she's marrying. Hope she put a rubber on you first. You can still get STIs with a condom, namely herpes. Oh man, I'd tell her now before she finds out years down the line. When one of your buddies slips up or his marriage doesn't work out. If she's like me, I would tell her now. I am crazy as fuck and the consequences 5 years from now would not be desirable. Strippers at bachelor parties are stupid. You're not a bachelor. You're not single. I got married in September. My best man had rented a lodge in Wisconsin Dells for the bachelor party, but after a lot of consideration, we decided to not go out and risk catching COVID a week before the wedding. Instead, we had a joint baccalaureate party at our house. We grilled, drank, played yard games, and camped out on our 7 acres. Nobody got in trouble, nobody went broke. And most importantly, everyone had a good time. Good luck in your marriage. My advice, come clean, cuz she's going to find out eventually. You need to tell your wife. Being drunk is no excuse, but unfortunately these things happen. She needs to know that you can be trusted even if you're drunk. Clearly he can't be trusted when drunk. These things only happen if you're lacking empathy. Cheating isn't an unavoidable mistake, WTF. Not yet his wife, and she should hopefully run far away from this dude. You aren't mature enough to get married. You were adult enough to play. Now be man enough to say it. Your future wife deserves to hear the truth. Not sure what sort of feedback you were hoping for, but any decent human being wouldn't be cool with what you did. Yes, mistakes happen. Good friends would make sure you don't make dumb mistakes or allow you get plastered enough to have that excuse of, I was too drunk. I hope you can be the man you can be and take responsibility for your actions. Wouldn't be surprised either way if she was done with you or wanted to work through it. I just hope deep down you're strong and mature enough to do what needs to be done. If not, this marriage probably isn't for you, and you'd be doing her a favor. Scumbags. Plural. You're almost got to be your wife and all your friends. Girls deserve better men. I hope your fiancé finds out and leaves you at the altar. I never understood bachelor parties anyways, like your one last night of being single. You weren't single while dating or engaged? Lol, bachelor parties make no sense. Bachelor parties, baccalaureate parties where you celebrate with your friends in a normal way are fine. Dinner, movies, drinking games, what have you. This is fucking nasty shit. This isn't normal. It's an excuse for people to fuck around. Nasty ass hoes. The only thing saving me is that we all are in relationships and we all did things. So no one is going to snitch. Good Lord, you all suck so much. Evidently, the only thing you're going to do is come complain to Reddit about how you're actually the victim in this whole thing. If you were worth anything, you would admit what you and your friends did, accept whatever your would-be spouse decides, and then work on yourself as a person. But no, you're going to do the easy thing and whine on the internet. This sub seems to be a place a lot of cheaters flock to trying to earn sympathy points. How dare you marry this woman you claim to love having cheated on her like this? I hate when people pretend that drunk them is different from sober them. If you did this while drunk, you would have been okay with it sober, but your inhibitions would have stopped you. You're an asshole and your bride deserves to know that. I feel awful for her. God, I hope she leaves you. Oof. Tell her, cuz she's gonna find out eventually. Most likely one of your friends trying to bang her will tell her. I'm a woman. Married 35 years. You did something awful. You have a choice to make now. Take a couple of days. Stop and really think about it. Do you really want to marry this woman? I understand that you understand that she is great, but is she really your one? Because I don't think that you could cheat if she really was your person, no matter the circumstances. Rather, I think you deliberately sabotaged your relationship. Because if you tell her, she's leaving your ass. If you really want her, swallow your guilt and recommit to her. But make sure you mean it. If not, let her go find someone who will treasure her the way she deserves. Good luck to you both. Marriage is rewarding, but hard. Think about what I am writing to you. You're a loser, and I hope your fiancé finds out because your other shitty friends' wives find out and tell her. If you and your entire friend group can't go on a trip without giving in to temptation, then quite frankly, none of you deserve your wives. You should be ashamed of yourself. This is why I have always despised the idea of bachelor parties. What's the point of going to the strip club or the bar on your wedding's eve? What is the appeal about that? The probability of you cheating on your future life partner is extremely high during such a moment. Thank God I come from a country where such wanton events like bachelor parties are part of the culture. Also, be honest about what happened and tell her. She deserves to know. Maybe I'm being judgmental, but your decision to go to Nashville and to a strip club tells me you and your boys are typical bros. Gangbangs were probably a normal thing for you guys, right? You love your boys so much that you want to share your toys with them. How sweet. How respectful to women. Hopefully your future wife effed some guy. It's only fair. How would you react to that news? Would it suddenly not be okay if she did that? But you should get a pass, right? I wouldn't marry you if I found this news out. I would think you obviously have zero respect for me. But I'm doubtful you'll ever say something to her. Boys will be boys after all. Secretive, lying, cheating, gaslighting pieces of shit. STDs are a thing and you need to get tested. He 100 needs to get tested. But I bet he won't. God, this is disgusting. I will never understand why men feel the need to go to strip clubs for their bachelor party. Everything's okay though, because none of your buddies are going to snitch. You should tell your partner you pose. Also, fuck you and your friends. Fucking disgusting. I promise, when this comes out, because it will, you're going to wish you would have told her. Not only did you cheat, but lying about it. I wish you the best, but this sounds like you're not ready for marriage. I have done dumb things as well, but I have never blamed alcohol. That's on you. I know this isn't ADA, but YTA. Blaming your behavior on being drunk is bullshit. If you valued your relationship, you wouldn't have done what you did. Your fiancé deserves better. Tell her before you're married, or it's going to cost way more than $140. I've gone to the strip club numerous times. I would go 5 times a week. Never did I fuck a stripper, even when I was single. You're a sorry excuse for a man. If you do stay, and don't tell her, I hope she finds out eventually and leaves you penniless and putting yourself in a ditch. Your future wife is worth $140? Jesus. If you have had sex with her since the weekend, you both need to be tested. Whatever you do, don't marry the amazing woman and ruin her life too. I think you know she deserves for better than you. Have decency and tell her. She deserves to know. You're going to hide this from her and still marry her. She deserves better. And I hope someone snitches. Exactly for this reason, I don't like bachelor parties. Alcohol makes people stupid. Tell your soon-to-be wife now, so she can find a partner that will value her love and not cheat on her. If you remember how much each service was, you weren't as drunk as you're claiming to be. She deserves to know the truth, and maybe you'll learn for next time. She deserves someone who will keep it in their pants even when easy pee is offered. The worst part is being the only one who knows. I was so drunk I made the dumbest decision I've ever made. Something tells me these aren't usually one-off things. Your drunk character is only a representation of your sober character. And if this is true, that character is clearly an asshole. I hope she finds out before you get any more of her time. Dude, why go to a strip club with all that temptation? And having no self-control once drunk? Sad. You should ask yourself if you really want to get married. It sounds to me that you're not ready to settle down. If you cheat before the wedding, you'll cheat after. I recommend calling off the wedding. You deserve it. Who told you to get strippers? Why would you do that? What an utterly disrespectful show to your would-be wife. Come on, man. You paid for sex. You wanted that. Your inconscient was maybe speaking. Maybe you were scared, not ready to get married. And it's the only way you managed your feelings. Don't get married, at least not now. Good person, bad person, whatever. You are clearly not ready to commit with her. My favorite part of this post is this dude gave some pretty damn specific details about where he went, and when his wedding day is. If anyone you know knows you went to Nashville last weekend, they will tell your wife and you are fucked. You better tell her before that happens.